So I just got back from seeing Thor Ragnarok, and I am going to easily say that it is definitely the best Thor movie. It is bright, pretty, soundtrack's great. Like, I have very few problems with the movie. It's funny. Like, there are a lot of great laugh moments. I have not laughed out loud in the theater that much. I can't think of another movie that came out this year that would have made me do it. Like, I thought it was better than Spider-Man. And Spider-Man I thought was pretty funny. Granted, I probably wouldn't rank Spider-Man in my top 5 Marvel movies. This one probably ekes it out. Like, this one's really good. A very strong Thor movie. It's not without its issues, of course. Like, there's some weird pacing stuff that happens, but everything in it, as far as, like, a comic book summer I guess fall blockbuster. I don't know, what do you technically call this, like, this holiday season blockbuster? It's everything that needs to be. And I kind of wish that maybe that it would have come out after whatever Justice League movie, like, I guess it's just called Dawn of Justice. No, that was Batman vs. Superman. I wish it came out after the DC movie, because I feel like it would be a very good palate cleanser. But maybe Black Panther will be that. I don't know. Regardless, this one was a very strong movie. Lots of great set pieces. It starts off fun, but it doesn't get really fun until they get to, I don't know the name of the planet anymore. I'm just going to call it War World, because that's kind of essentially what it's acting as. With Jeff Goldblum, and yeah, that part's great. One of my biggest gripes, however, with the movie is, again, it's advertising. Because when you're on, like, and this is a spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen a trailer or a promotional piece of material for Thor Ragnarok, because this is all over the trailers, all over every poster, every announcement, everything. If I did not know that Hulk was in this movie, that he was going to meet Hulk, I would have flipped the fuck out in the theater. I would have been so excited. Because, like, they treated it like a big reveal, and you kind of get hints to it as you get closer to it, but sitting in the theater and them talking about, like, oh yeah, this guy's champion, it's really strong, oh yeah, he killed the last guy. If it were a normal Thor movie, I would have just been sitting there thinking, like, yeah, he's gonna fight some big dude, okay. And then, like, then Hulk walks out, and yeah, unfortunately that's entirely spoiled in all of the promotional material of the movie. It could have been so great, because in the movie they treat it like such a mystery, like, oh, who could it be? Who could it be? Modern marketing fucking sucks, man. Like, they could have advertised this movie in so many different ways. Like, they could have used cuts of like what they did and not given away that Hulk was there. But I know that Hulk is the big draw. Like, oh my god, look, it's Hulk. We gotta go see the movie because the Hulk's in it, right, kids? Let's pack the family in the wagon and go to the movie theater. I hate marketing. I've avoided the new Star Wars trailer because I hear that there's spoilers in it. And I want to go into that fresh. Like, I've seen the first trailer, like, the teaser, like the Breathe trailer, I think is what it is colloquially being called. I have not seen the most latest trailers for it. I've been avoiding anything for that like the plague. And I was lucky, in the movie theater that I went to see it in, the Alamo Drafthouse, they actually did not show the trailer for Star Wars. They only showed Black Panther, just one trailer before the movie. But anyway, enough with my tangent on modern marketing. The movie itself is fun, it's bright, it's colorful, it's everything a comic book movie, like a fun comic book movie, should be, in my opinion. The parts that I have any sort of issue with whatsoever, after Cate Blanchett, Hel, the god of death, is introduced, after they have their first confrontation, then Thor gets shot off to what I'm calling War World, because I can't remember the name of the actual planet, where he gets into the Colosseum and stuff. After she goes back and just, like, the movie will sometimes cut away from Thor just to go see what she's doing. And those scenes, while important, are very slow and not very fun. They feel very disjointed. I almost wonder if it would have worked better had, like, she just shown up, done her thing. Like, they could probably use like 1 or 2 scenes, but I feel like they interject her in so many places that it's unnecessary. Like that they cut back to her so much, I think is probably my big issue. It really kind of like, not that it cuts everything to a halt where Thor is, because like that ends in a neat little spot and you pick up at another neat little spot. So I don't know. It just, her scenes feel very stark and different, and I know that they're supposed to because hers are much more like dire and stuff. But then you go back to Thor and you're cracking jokes with a rock dude. And the rock dude, by the way, who I can't remember the name of, he is possibly my favorite character in the movie. He's one of the gladiators that you meet. He is a fun character. I don't want to give away anything that they do or say. Also, this has probably the funniest joke that I've ever heard in a Marvel movie. I don't want to give it away, but I laughed super hard, like closed eyes, tears in my eyes kind of laughter at one of the jokes. But, it builds up to his climax. Climax is good, strong climax, and it ends in a very good spot for Infinity War to begin. It's hard to complain about it. It is a solid Marvel movie. I feel like, let's talk about Jeff Goldblum for a minute. I feel like his character doesn't really do a lot, but he's funny, I guess. I don't know. I liked Jeff Goldblum in the movie. I didn't dislike him. He felt very added in there, so to speak. I don't know. Like, he's an important character on the planet, but he doesn't hold much gravity. Like, you get this like, when you're introduced to him, you're given this, and it's like, yeah, no, he's very important on this planet, and he shows off his, like, he doesn't really have any real powers, so to speak, although I think he's like immortal or something. I don't know. Apparently he's millions of years old. I don't really know the lore of the character in the comics either, so it's not really helpful. But he does his thing as, like, the top 1%, just like shitting on the little guy. He just murders a dude straight out and doesn't feel a thing about it. But that's about all there really was to his character. I didn't feel like there was a lot to him. There was just a lot of, this is fun. I'm just having fun being the top of the food chain here. Watching people beat the shit out of each other and die for my entertainment. That's about it. He just had a very, like, a Roman emperor feel to him without any of the overall importance to the plot, if that makes sense. Like, I don't see him coming back, basically. It felt very one and done for him, and it felt like there wasn't much to it, to his character, because there was so much else going on in the movie. This movie is like 2 hours, some minutes long. It is a very long Marvel movie. So you got to contend with with every other plot element and every other new character they're introducing here, and all of the old ones that are recurring, because Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth knock it out of the park. Like, those two working back and forth, their rapport is incredible. Like, they have a great chemistry on screen. Like, it is amazing. As for Cate Blanchett as the villain, pretty one note, kind of like, unfortunately, most Marvel villains. Like, this is my motivation. I am my motivation. Okay, now let's have a fight. I didn't feel much for her, although since she is the goddess of death, and Thanos is supposed to be in love with death, I have a feeling she'll be coming back. Maybe they'll make her a bit more important in Infinity War. I don't know. I get a I haven't read any spoilers on Infinity War, and I haven't looked at any of the casting or anything like that, but I feel like that's a thing for Thanos, you know, where she'll just be Death and he'll be like, hey, how's it going? You know, whole thing. I don't know. I feel like Thanos can't be alone in this whole thing, but I don't really know. Maybe he can. Maybe he's big and strong enough to not need anyone. Or maybe he'll just have a weird robot army or Chitauri army like Voltron or Ultron or Loki did in the other two Avengers movies, which I feel like is the most boring way. Just Dynasty Warriors out your minions. I was never a fan of that. I wasn't a huge fan of Ultron thinking back on it. But anyway, yeah. Thor Ragnarok, strong, solid. If I want to talk about the soundtrack a little bit, I felt like while they were on, you know, War World, there was just this like 80s techno in the background that I felt like either a flock of seagulls was going to kick in at any time, or maybe Tom Sawyer was booting up. Like maybe they're just playing a bunch of Rush. I don't know. Like that's like, it's definitely an 80s feel. Like this is an 80s nostalgia. Like they're trying to give you an 80s nostalgia bomb with a modern twist. I don't know what it is. Like, is it just when like a generation hits their 30s and 40s that you're supposed to start pandering to them because they're the ones with the money now and having like that? Because I'm certain like maybe within like the next 10 to 15 years we're gonna start getting, you know, like here's your 90s bomb, and I'll just be like, I remember that. Is that what that's about? I should ask Ben. All right. Well, yeah. Anyway, Thor Ragnarok, super solid. Highly recommend it. If I had a scoring system, 7 or an 8 out of 10 probably. Good. Not a masterpiece, but damn good. Good looking, good acted, funny, overall entertaining. Check it out. I'm certain almost all of you are. Anyway, if you like this video, subscribe and press thumbs ups and stuff like that, and, you know, click one of these things around me. Have fun. Enjoy Thor.